Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, what's up? If you can't tell by the title of this video, we will just be talking about how to start your online business in 2025. These are just going to be a few tips and tricks that I wish I knew when I started my online business back in 2020. If you don't know, my name is Diana and I sell natural handmade skincare products. So that contains body butters, body oils, lip scrubs, body scrubs, lip balm. I kind of just do it all, and I'm getting my hands into new types of skincare products, so it's super exciting. I will leave my website below, but I am relaunching my business. I did take a little hiatus, but I'm getting right back into it in 2025. I was motivated to share some tips on how to start your business in 2025, especially if you've never started an online business before. Once again, these are just some tips and tricks I wish I had already known. So let's just hop right into it. If you see me looking down a lot, it's because I wrote my notes down, because I want to be very concise and very clear. I don't really want to waste your time. These tips I will be sharing are honestly more for home businesses, online businesses, and if you're selling physical products, especially if those products are going to be handmade. So my very first tip is to have a business email account. You can use a Gmail or an Outlook. Both are very professional. People are familiar with both platforms, so they won't think it's spam if you pop up in their email. But get a business email account. That way, when you also sign up to get your ingredients or any supplies that you need to start your business, you can have that just sent straight to the email. When you're signing up for different accounts, different rewards programs, anything like that, it can just go straight to that email, and you're not mixing personal email with your business email. I'm somebody who just believes in keeping both of those things separate, so it's definitely helpful if you already have a separate email address. Having a separate business and personal email address is actually a perfect segue into having a separate business bank account. You definitely want to have a different bank account. It'll be a lot easier when tax time comes around, when you have to look at your receipts. You're not filing through your personal stuff and your business stuff. And it helps that when your business starts to make money, you start to have some sort of income with that business that you're using, like a business debit card or something, to make purchases from the business bank account. And you're not always funding your business with your money, which is something that I was doing to start out. You have to, right? You have to spend money to make money, but you want to have a separate place for your money to go for your business. That way, when you want to buy new things, when you want to sign up for certain things, that you're just using that business bank account, you're swiping your business card and not your personal card. In addition to that, a little sub point to that is that you also want to have some sort of worksheet or workbook. I would suggest Excel, but I know there's a lot of digital products out there nowadays that can probably have their own worksheet just like set up for you. That was easy to budget, right? You want to be able to budget your money as a business as well. So budgeting, and again, when tax time comes around, they ask you, what did you spend on supplies? What did you spend on overhead costs? What did you spend on XYZ? Then it's easier for you to just kind of deduct that, and you already have it in your worksheet without having to go through like all your account swipes, which is something that I had to do when I first started just because I was all over the place. But it's a lot easier if as soon as you make a purchase, you can enter it into an Excel worksheet or workbook or something, and you just have something that keeps track of those finances. That's, again, outside of anything personal you have going on. Trust me, when tax time comes around and they ask how much did you make and then how much did you spend, it'll be a lot easier to just double check your workbook, get that number, than have to try and calculate everything from the past 12 months. It's way easier, trust me. I will say though, to open a business bank account, I believe you have to have like your business social security number. It's called like an EIN, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? Because it's like employer, I think it is like employer identification number or something like that. So it's basically like your business social security number. You might have to have one of those to even open a business bank account. So that would be my next tip, is to just determine if you want to do an LLC or a sole proprietorship. Right? I can't tell you which one to do. I did do an LLC, but it's really up to you and like how you plan to have your finances, and if you really want your business to be like a part of you, or if you want it to be a separate entity. I can't really give you all the details for real. Like, that's definitely something you're gonna have to research, and I would say do a lot of research on it and determine which business setup is best for you and whatever you're gonna do. With that, you do want to also like set up a routine, some sort of routine, so it's easier. Okay, let's hope this is not blurry because I'm this close to losing my mind. Having your papers in order. Another tip is to just set up a routine for at the beginning or the end of each month to pay your taxes to your state. Depending on what your state requires of you, you definitely want to set up a routine so you're not losing track of any of those things. You don't have to pay any sort of fees. So double check what your government, your state government, federal government period, what they require of you in terms of taxes, in terms of paperwork, and just try to set a routine either every month, every quarter, every year, whatever they require of you. Just make sure you're staying on top of that and set that routine early on. My next tip is to have a website. Have a website. Now with websites, I always say get a domain if you can, but if that's something that you have to graduate to, then don't feel discouraged. If you have to have a Shopify.com or a BigCartel.com or a Wix.com, don't feel discouraged by that. Sometimes that doesn't come first for some people. For me, my business name was pretty unique, so I was able to get 2 years domain for like $20-something, and to me that was worth it. I would rather have naturebyjoy.com instead of naturebyjoy.shopify.wix. Whatever. But just double check just to see if your business name is unique, then you're more likely to get a cheaper domain than if your business name might be something a little more common or uses a little more like common words and things like that. That was also something that I had researched too when I was thinking of my business name. I was typing it into domain checkers just to see if anybody else had that business name. I did the same thing with my state when I was making my LLC. Like, you kind of have to do that just to see if anybody has something either similar, the same, around that. I just wanted to make sure that my business name stood out, especially for what I was doing. Also, to get your domain, you can go to GoDaddy.com. I don't know if y'all used to remember those like commercials GoDaddy used to have.
Ms. Capelli?
Yes, I'd like to be on a commercial.
And what will you be advertising?
GoDaddy.com. Oh my gosh.
I used to think it was like a website or something. I had no idea. I was a little girl, but when I realized it was just for like website, I was kind of I was underwhelmed, to say the least. So just checking on that. I say GoDaddy is a pretty easy website to use to find a domain, to buy a domain, so that's what I would suggest. Okay, so now moving into some more niche tips. If you're gonna be doing handmade products, especially something like skincare or jewelry or anything of that sort, I would say just to make sure you have a manageable launch product list. You don't want to have way too many things launching at first. You don't want to have a full catalog unless you have like a manufacturer or something. But again, I'm talking about single people wanting to start their own online business. You're by yourself, you're doing the marketing, you're doing the accounting work, you're doing the fulfillment, you're doing the shipping, you're doing all of that. I say start with 3 to 4 products at the very least. See what your consumers like, see what they are really going after. If it's a certain scent they're going after, if it's a certain body product they're going after, or if it's a certain type of design they're going after. That way you can start to manage your list or you manage your products around what your consumers like, and you're not overworking yourself by giving yourself like 10 types of things that you can make or 10 types of things that you have to have in stock or anything like that. You're keeping it very manageable, and that way if things start to get out of hand, right, like you can slow it down, you can ramp it up, anything like that. So again, I say 3 to 4 products to start out, see what your consumers like, see what your customers like, and then you can start to expand and scale based on that. For me, I started off with a body butter, a lip scrub, and then a lip balm. And I had 3 scents, 3 main scents, and they're still gonna be like my core scents. Those are the things that like people really liked when I first brought them out. So that's just something I suggest doing. It really worked for me, and it allowed me to scale as time went on. I saw that people really loved my body butter, so something I started to stick to was body products. Then the next thing I dropped was a body scrub. After that, I had a body oil, and those tended to do really, really well. They did a lot better than my lip products, which people liked, right? Like, my lip products were good, but they weren't my bestseller by any means. So try to just stick with a couple of products that you can easily build out on either one of them. The same thing I would say if you're doing jewelry, if you do like a ring, a necklace, and a bracelet, and you realize people are liking the rings and the bracelets, you know, that you can kind of expand the different styles of rings, different styles of bracelets, or something like that. Maybe even drop in an earring and see how that goes. So just keep the product list very manageable when you're first starting out, and then it's a lot easier to scale and grow. My last tip for this video is going to be having a business card and thank you cards. So again, these are not something that you need immediately. Actually, business cards, you definitely need business cards immediately. I 100% recommend them. When I first launched my business, I had a website called Awesome Merch, and that's where I got my business cards to start. They gave me like 500 for $10. It was something crazy like that, and I bought it immediately. I don't think they do that anymore, which really sucks because I really liked them. They were pretty fast, and I think they were somewhere in the UK. But I say always have a business card because you never know who you're gonna come across in public, and if your business comes up, the last thing you want to happen is somebody ask, can I have a business card? Do you have a business card? And you have nothing to pull out. Yes, some people are gonna be like, let me follow you on Instagram, let me follow you here. Like, do you have a Facebook? Do you have a website? That's another thing. People will ask if you have a website. So you just wanna make sure some things are just like easily accessible for them. I have my business card and it has, maybe I can put like the design here somewhere on the screen just because I don't have one on my body, which is not me taking my own tips. But I have a QR code on there that goes straight to my website. I have my actual website. I have my email on there if you need to contact me. And I have my Instagram on there as well. So I think having a business card is like key. It can have some of your branding on it, and it doesn't have to be plain. It can be very cute, you know what I mean? I always say have a business card. And if you're one of those people that like to do like promos and stuff and go to parties and you drop cards on people's car, like I hate when people do that, but at the end of the day, it's your business, you know what I mean? Like you want to get the word out, so you can be annoying. You can be annoying, but it's your business, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how some people get sales. So I say have a business card, period. Thank you cards, I will say, are optional and is something that you can grow into. When I first started, I used to just do handwritten thank you cards on index cards. That's just all I had at the moment. And as I started to grow a little bit more, I decided that I wanted to have a more professional look, a more cohesive look. So now I have like thank you cards, and I can probably also show you what my thank you cards look like. But there's digital products and stuff out there, y'all. I'm pretty sure you can go out and buy a template if you're not the creative girly. You can probably go out and buy a template right now and put your business on there. But I 100% recommend a business card. If you don't learn nothing else from me today, make sure you have a way to market your business in person and not just on social media. You never know who you come across in person, and you want to have something to give them in case that they really go back and look at it and they really go look up your website. But yeah, those are my first couple of tips that I have. I definitely have a lot more things that I've learned, different tips and tricks, but these are just some things that I wish was in a more concise video like this when I was doing all my research instead of having to research like 10 different topics. These are things that are going to be important, especially if you plan on scaling and making your business larger. I can't wait to get back into it. I believe 2025 is the year for everybody to succeed. It's your year, it's my year, so let's get this money. Yes, yes. If you made it this far in the video, drop a brown heart in the comments, or drop something that you learned or something that you're going to take with you when you start your business. I really can't wait to see what everybody has coming in 2025. I think this can be a really successful year for everybody. I think it's one of those years where we're really just gonna have to put our best foot forward. Once again, my relaunch is gonna be coming in January. If you want some natural handmade skincare products, you know who to call. Again, body butters, body scrubs, body oil, all that. That's all I have. If this video comes out blurry again, I'm going to scream. And y'all might not get it. So let's pray to God. Let's pray. But yes. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you learned something, again, comment what you learned. I'm so intrigued. If you have any questions, you can also comment, and I'm glad to answer them. But yeah.